see the work, get more done, unlock more time, more money, and more freedom.
Join us as we explore the challenges and power of making work visible. Welcome to the Visible Workplace Podcast with Dr. Tom Raleigh.
Now, let's get into today's episode. Okay, welcome to today's episode. We have an interesting topic ahead. We have covered this one before, but I want to go back and look at it again. And I'm going to call this one Training to Failure, which sounds like a horribly negative name, but what we're going to look at is something that's a big problem. And you may well have already experienced it, and you're like, man, that happened again. So what we are looking at is when people buy courses and they don't get the results. They bought something, a product or a training or a mastermind or a book or a seminar or an experience. They bought something to solve a problem. They clearly had that problem. They went to the experience, they took the course, they struggled, and they failed. That's why it's called training to failure. Basically, I bought the training and it didn't work. And yet, this is somehow acceptable. This is like, you know what? I'm just okay with this. I'm going to sell my course. I'm going to provide the training. I know what to do, but I'm not that concerned with the other people actually getting the results. And we see this all the time. Expected numbers of completion around 4%. 4% of people who actually buy it, they've got the problem. Presumably they got the problem, otherwise they wouldn't buy it. And yet they don't get the results. What's going on here? Well, look, what I want you to consider the possibility, in fact, that when you are buying someone's course, what you're actually buying is their standard operating procedures to get a particular result. They're like, hey, if you've got this problem and you want this result, then guess what? I've got the solution for you. I can get you those results. You buy the course, you take the workshop, you join the mastermind, whatever it is, and then you may well be able to watch the videos, go through the books. But is that enough? Unfortunately, it's not. You see, just watching the training, just going through the training, well, look, unfortunately, a lot of people never get that far, but assuming that you're good enough to do that, that's still no guarantee. All you have done is consume the knowledge, which is great. It's fantastic. It's better than perhaps not doing anything, buying the course and then never opening it, which unfortunately definitely happens with far more regularity than any of us would like. But let's assume that we're not dealing with those people. Let's go, okay, look, you're good enough to get the course opened. You take the course and yet you've learned something, but you don't get the results. Why? What happened? Well, you see, what you are trying to achieve is something quite challenging. To extract out the steps that are being demonstrated and get them done. Now, let's talk about a first level. A first level is achievable, and there's something that makes this a whole lot easier, and that is a second screen. What does the second screen allow you to do? Well, it means that you can put the course or the book or the seminar or whatever it is over on one screen, press play if it's a video, or read along, and then do the work on your second screen. This is extremely effective. This means you can click play, do the step, click pause, click play, click pause, do the work, click play, click pause, do the work. See, that's a bit of a tongue twister, bit of a struggle here. But anyway, hopefully you got the idea. Click play, click pause, do the work, and repeat. Go through, execute, 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 step, step, step. Now, this should get you the desired result, at least for a single execution. Now, notice that you already come way further than the people that never opened the course at all, never opened the book at all. Second, you've come way further than the people that watched the videos but did not execute. They know what to do, but the ability to actually go through and follow all of the steps just by watching the video or reading the book is pretty poor. It's difficult. There's nuances, there's subtleties, there's details that are being demonstrated, but just passively watching them, often those subtleties are missed. And it's not until you come to do it, or at least for me, I come to do it, I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. I need to rewatch the video, which is good because at least I'm doing it and I know what the problem is. But the better way for that initial execution, at least to prove to yourself that, hey, I can follow the instructions, is have that second screen and go play, pause, execute, repeat, play, pause, execute, repeat. But this still leaves us with a suboptimal experience. What about if there was a better way that not only got it done, but meant next time you came to do that work, you did not have to go reopen the course? I don't know about you, but I really struggle to go back and rewatch the course. Now, why is that? Well, because often through the course, they're not just showing you what to do, but they're also teaching about what's going on. I had this recently with a nerve flossing course that I bought. And I was like, okay, great. They were teaching me the reason why they were having movements. I've been struggling with 2 years now of a numb index finger. Most frustrating. Spent a truckload of cash trying to get this thing fixed. It is getting better, but it's very slow. And so they're like, hey, buy this nerve flossing course. It will help with numbness in the hands. I have that problem, numbness in the hands. I open it up and the first video is teaching me what to do, but also why they're doing it. I'm like, okay, cool. Now I've got to wait while they teach me, then do the experience, then play again and wait while they teach me and play and then do it. It was pretty frustrating. And then for whatever reason, I opened it up a couple of days later and I noticed that they had made a video that only had the movements. And so they'd extracted out the teaching and just had the movements. Like, great, I don't need the teaching anymore. I just want to follow along with the movements. And then in time, as I keep repeating this, I will learn by muscle memory. I'll have the movements down. I won't even need the video. But what I want you to catch here is that typically in courses, they're not only telling you what to do, but also why. So it's slow. When you come back the second time to grind through that material, I'm like, I know why we're doing this. This is frustrating. Come on, just get me to the steps. So what we really want is exactly like the flossing people provided, which is the steps that I do without the teaching. And so that may well be provided, but what I found when I'm working on computers and doing the work, it's not the greatest method. Well, let me rephrase that. A video is not the greatest method to show me what to do. Why is that? Well, videos typically go for a while, maybe 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, maybe 12 minutes, who knows? There's a whole bunch of steps in there and I have to scrub through to find them. It is far quicker to just, for me at least, to go through and look at the steps in text. Do this, do this, do this, do this, do this. I actually had this morning. I had to clean our coffee machine. Now, not a big deal, not life and death, no big deal at all. And I knew that I'd already found the video, but presumably when I had dropped it into the magic board to say, hey, here's this video, that's as far as I got. And so I open it up hoping for text because all I really wanted was the combination of buttons that I needed to press to make the machine do the cleaning cycle, but instead I got the video. So I rewatched the video, it showed me what to press. And if you happen to have a Breville coffee maker, you put the cleaning tablet in, and then you press, turn it off, make sure the water's full, which I both documented, fill water, turn off machine, and then you hold power, cup 1 and cup 2 all at once for 10 seconds. Now it went before 10 seconds. I was like, is it working? But I do think it did work. Now, what did I do? Documented those steps in text, not in video. I kept the video there just in case I need to refer to it, but this is a microscopic example of what's going on. And yes, being a commercial coffee machine, it had nice music and it had everything. But all I really wanted was the 3-button combination. Power, 1 cup, 2 cups, all at the same time for 10 seconds. And then it will start a 5-minute cleaning cycle. Now, this is exactly the same problem that we're facing with the stuff that we buy to solve our problems in business and in life. That the material, the book, the seminar, the workshop, the online videos will be mixed in together between training and steps. And then if you're fortunate, they've gone through and just made a video of steps, which is great, but it's slow. And so your ability to execute this over and over and over, because you will likely need to do these skills again, then presents you with a whole bunch of problems. Depending on how long it's been, so it might have been a while, 3 weeks, 3 months, you've got to find the course. That in itself is a problem. Then you've got to find the right area that they were discussing. Okay, that in itself is a problem. We find the right area. Now we've got a course that is teaching as well as showing. Okay, we'll go through. Let's say they've been so generous to actually just have the steps. You've got it in the video form. All right, okay, great. But what you really want is a repeatable version of this that is in text. Click here, do this. Click here, do this. This has a significant advantage. It allows you to rapidly see all of the steps that need to be taken. You can identify what steps that have already been done, where you're up to. Oh, actually, I've already done these first 3. I just need these steps 4, 5, 6, and 7. Or haven't done any. Let's begin at the beginning. And I can see all of those steps without having to scrub through a video. This also means that any changes that happen, any improvements that happen, any URLs that have changed, any materials that changed can easily be changed. It's much easier to change one line of a process document than it is to make a whole new video. Whole new video, yes, even with Loom, even with Vimeo Record, it's still a bit of a pain to have to go through and re-record every step. It's like, geez, okay, I've got this one change. I have to record the whole new video. Now, could you separate it out and make very small videos? You could, but if you can explain it with words, it's quicker to type, typically. And there may well be an occasion where you're like, you know what? I just want to make a video. I just want to show a screenshot. And, well, hopefully you can drop that in. Certainly in the Magic Board software, you can put that in as an image, you can put it in as a link, all good, So if you wanted to make a Loom and have a short demonstration, a 25-second demonstration, in case I've never done this work before, then I could click the video, watch it. But next time around, I just see the words, I know what to do. But this is the problem that we're faced with when we buy materials of people who know how to do things. They clearly are getting the results, they're demonstrating the results, and they are selling the solution to us, but it's coming in a format that requires a significant level of skill to go through and extract the steps out, put them into some kind of format, preferably text, that can be used again and again, let alone creating a new, fresh version of those steps that can be tracked and seen next time around. And so we have the problem of why we're only getting a 4% completion rate. The people who know how to do that can extract the steps, create a system, or a magic board in my case, and execute it again and again. And this is what is extremely beneficial in business. It also means that I can get somebody else to follow those instructions without them having gone through the course at all. And so the question that I've got is, well, why don't we have more of the instructions listed out when we buy courses? Is it that people are like, I'm going to assume that people can do it, and they're okay with that? Unfortunately, the numbers say that most people can't do it. So what do you need to do? What do you need to do? You need to get good at extracting out the steps. If you recognized you had that problem and you bought the product to solve it or the service, and you're like, you know what? I want this to be in my world. Then the next step is to be able to extract it out. First step, be able to execute with a 2-screen video, get it done, but also capture those steps in text, in some kind of documentation, whether that's a Google Doc, whether that's a magic board. I don't mind. I clearly recommend a magic board because it works really well. It gives you tracking, it gives you due dates, it gives you responsibility, it gives you the ability to execute a new copy of that work when you need it and have everything ready to go. But you can do it in a Google Doc, you can do it in a Google Sheets, totally cool. Whatever works for you. But what I want you to catch here is that your ability to extract the instructions from the materials that you buy to solve the problems in your life is critical. If you just buy the product, it doesn't solve your problem. If you buy the product and watch the videos, it doesn't solve your problem. If you buy the product, watch the videos, and execute watching the videos, you get the problem solved once. If you buy the product, extract the steps to take, then you can continue to solve that problem over and over, and you can hand it off to someone else and say, you do that work, which frees you up to be more valuable and execute from the places that you love doing, the work you love doing, because you can get people to accurately complete their work. All right. That is all I've got for you today. Hope you got some value out of this one. This is a significant problem. Have a look at the courses you've already bought, the ones that you didn't get the results that you wanted, and ask the question, was I able to extract the instructions? What you're buying is the instructions, but if you can't extract them and execute them, then unfortunately, unless you pay them just to do that work done for you, you're not going to get what you bought. If you want some help around magic boards, either done for you or done with you, or do it yourself with the software, then head over to www.magicboards.io. Thanks so much for tuning in. Hope you got a lot of value. I look forward to seeing you on our next episode. Got a cool episode, so tune in next week. I'll see you then.
Thanks for tuning into the Visible Workplace Podcast. Subscribe for more productivity tips and share with friends. We love your feedback, so please rate and review us on your favorite podcast platform. For more tips and tools, visit www.magicboards.io. Thanks again, and see you next episode. Disclaimer: the information and ideas discussed in this episode are general in nature and do not take into account your specific circumstances. You should seek specialist advice for any medical, financial, emotional, mental, or other difficulties that you are facing with appropriate specialists and professionals so that they can apply your specific circumstances and give you the required advice.